I'll tell you the example of a man who was not even born again, who did not know anything about Jesus Christ, who did not have a Bible, who was not filled with the Holy Spirit, and who resisted at least adultery. Joseph. Young 20-year-old man, far away from his parents, in a house where somebody was tempting him every day, and he ran away. And I believe in those days, if there was pornography and there was a computer in front of him, Joseph would have run away from that too. What is it that made him run away? Not fullness of the Spirit. He feared God. You know, when that woman tempted him, what he said? You read in Genesis 39, how can I sin against God? Read that verse. All of us must remember it. Genesis chapter 39. When the woman came to Joseph with great desire, verse 7, looked at him with desire, Genesis 39:7, and said, lie with me. A woman coming to a young, muscular man. Some of you are 20 years old, far away from your parents, just like Joseph. What would you do if you're all alone in a house and a very attractive woman says, come on, nobody's here? And you're supposed to be a CFC believer. What do? He says he refused. Verse 8. He says in verse 9, how can I do, the last part, verse 9, how can I do this great evil and sin against God who is here? How do you say nobody's here? He tells Potiphar, how do you say nobody's here? God is right here. Your husband is not here, my parents are not here, but God is right here. How can I sin against God? And it says, verse 10, day after day after day, she went after him. Come on. Every day he would say, no, God is here, God is here, God is here. She thought he was crazy. Which man would keep refusing a woman like that? I'll tell you, not one who speaks in tongues, but one who fears God. Speaking in tongues is not the beginning of wisdom. I speak in tongues. I'm not against it. I've spoken in tongues for 41 years and I thank God for it. But that is not the beginning of wisdom. The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. When the Holy Spirit came and filled me, He not only gave me the gift of tongues, He gave me a fear of God. The Spirit, Isaiah 11, He's called the Spirit of the fear of the Lord. You know Him as the Spirit of the fear of the Lord? It says in Isaiah 11 and verse 2, the Spirit of the fear of the Lord rested upon Jesus. And I say, that's the Spirit I want to rest upon me. And that's the real Holy Spirit. The Spirit of the Lord is called in verse Isaiah 11:2, the Spirit of the fear of the Lord. That means a spirit that makes me reverence God. In the moment when I'm tempted to get angry, in the moment when I'm tempted to commit some secret sin, how can I do this when God is here? God looks on the heart. Man looks on the outward appearance.